Well, Copenhagen, actually, I came here with my girlfriend. We came to Phuket. I took Google Map. I start to search on the screen by opening, and then I saw an island. I did not know the name. I didn't understand. I saw there was a boat going there on the map. So I said, okay, this is where we're going. And when I arrived here after 2 days, I said to myself, wow, it's so wonderful. I knew nothing about the energy and the soul and the crystal and the quartz and the energy. So when I arrived, I saw all these resorts, healing resort, meeting with this men's circle, ayahuasca medicine from the Amazonian. So I was really decided when I start my trip on Koh Phangan. I said, this is going to be the most beautiful around the world inside me of my tour that I'm doing. And actually, many people are asking me, did you go to the waterfall? Did you go to this, to the mountain? No. Actually, I've been staying around my room in my resort the 6 months. I've been writing stories and understanding about myself, and it's the most beautiful discovery that I'm making because I go from independent to independent, which is the transformation. I did three sessions with Warren of psilocybin that I will explain further on. I did maybe 4 times ayahuasca, which is certain medicine from Amazonia. I did combo 10 times, which is frog poison from another country. I've been doing ecstatic dance. I've been doing inner child program sessions. I've been doing some authentic writing. I've been writing every day. I did my yoga teacher program with Warren. So all of these are like vegetable for my garden. It's like everything is positive. Where it comes from, everything is good in that transformation. But definitely, I had close to 10 little books everywhere, in the car, in my suitcase, in on the bed. Everywhere I go, I have a pen and I write. I get up in the morning at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and I write. I met a girl here that was doing Kundalini something, and I was interested. And when I meet that lady, she asked me about my past life. And when she said, oh, you were a police officer doing this and that, she said, I have someone that would love you to meet. He's an ex-military from Australia. I said, yeah, I'd like to meet him. So the next day, I get an appointment and I have an interview with him and we share our experience together. So that was the first time I met with Warren. But this experience was so wonderful because the the relation developed so fast between the two of us that I was able to feel in a safe zone, in a safe area, to be able to open myself. So I had really all the tools. I had the right guy, I had the right timing, I had the right energy to go in that situation. And actually, he was sharing his experience of psilocybin with different people after his army. And I did not know anything about that. But when he explained to me what was the transformation that could occur after this treatment, I believed I believed I could close my eyes. My feelings with him were, I could see the light in him clearly. So I felt so confident that I said, I'm really, I'm ready to try this experience. So the first thing he asked me, what was my intention? And he was starting to ask me more questions about myself to create a direction. But this is starting to annoy me because after 20, 30 years as a policeman, I'm the boss. I'm decide. And now I've got another guy in front of me. He's an ex-military and he's the boss too. And we're looking at each other. But rapidly, I realized that he was not the type of guy that would give me just the mushroom and do your healing. I realized that I had to work a lot to do this because before, let's say I was doing a session of psilocybin, he gave me a homework for 1 week. When I do the session on the date, I do my exercise with him, I prepare the ceremony. When I finish the ceremony, he gives me another homework and he's asking a lot. Write a letter to your dad, write a letter to your mom, write a letter to your brother, how you feel, write, tell me about your inner child. And he's really pushing me hard. But my main goal, so you understand clearly, I saw the light. I saw the beautiful light in Warren. But after my first experience, I started to see fear. I started to see darkness when I saw Warren and really got scared. And I questioned myself, do I feel safe to go back to Warren? So you understand more, I'm going to explain. Something dark was coming to me. I was thinking about my dad, I was thinking about my son, I was thinking about myself, but the feeling is not good. But I could see the light in back, but it's so far, but it's sparkling. But to get there, imagine I have to cross a forest fire or a fire forest, and I don't know what the distance, but there's no hose, there's no water, and it's hell that I have to go if I want to get to Warren. And the motivation is so big because his energy, his smile is what I want. Is very clear. I see the soul in him. I see his heart. I see his smile. That's all I want. And I'm willing to do anything. But I've got that fire to cross. But the next day, something came up much stronger than the fear. Was the courage that came up to go through that fire and go to Warren. So I decided to pursue my experience. He knew exactly where we were going. He was telling me, okay, plan, we do this. I think we go for a second experience. And then he planted a seed without me knowing. I end up in a month class yoga teacher program with my girlfriend, with Mugda. So nothing came for free. I had to work. I had to get up every morning at 6. I had to finish by day at 9. I had to write my stories. And the yoga experience was just the starting, because actually it was yoga, but after doing my 2 psilocybin, the biggest transformation was my awareness, my consciousness. But if I have more consciousness, I see more, I understand more. When I start to do my yoga program, this was probably the biggest shift in my transformations, is what I see in others that make me react is telling me about myself and not about the others. And the biggest transformation is the switch from being a victim, blaming my partner in front of me, and the shift to be an adult that permits me to see what I need to learn about myself, about that little hole that's missing. So all my life, my eyes are pointed at the blaming people, so I lose responsibility of my life. I have no control of my life. I'm not being myself. But when that switch happened, I became from a victim to my adult inside, taking care of myself. So the switch goes from fear, jealousy, instability, anger, nervousness, anxiety. This was all the creation that came through my head and was part of my life all my life. That transformation made me from passenger to the driver, from victim to my responsible adult. And what I see in others that affect me, either in positive or in negative, is an opportunity for me to learn about myself. So it's a gift. It's a gift of life to be able to learn about myself through mirrors of others. One of the biggest shifts was when I realized in 2022 that I had everything. I had a big car, 2, garage, house, boat, river, pool, but I really felt I had nothing. I felt this emptiness inside. But for 55 years, I've been trying to fill that hole. Then I decided to make the biggest decision of my life. And I said, I asked my question. I asked myself, what is the closest souvenir of happiness that I have? Which is a pretty deep question. But actually, it did not take any, it was very quick. It came up right away. I said, I had a memory of camping with my family. I said, I found what I'm doing. I put the sign for sale. I put my car for sale. I put my truck for sale. I bought a suitcase. I sold and I gave practically everything that I had. So I decided to have a simple life. I met Mugda from Thailand in 2023, mid-September. I started to exchange on video every day for a few months. We went through traveling Asia for 6 months. Things were going so well that she decided to come to Canada for 6 months. And now we're back in Thailand for another 6 months. Money was a big part of my life. And before I really understood what was money useful for, I thought that my value was about the amount of money I had. I thought my value was directly linked with this. I quickly realized that if I do the same analogy with my girlfriend, she's the poorest girl in the world. But the paradox in that situation is I never saw someone so rich in my life. When I met Mugda, I realized that what had a price for me had no value compared to what has a value today for me has no price. This is the transformation. I say to Mr. Fear when it comes to the door, I send Mr. Courage. When Mr. Courage answers, it says, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Fear." And really, I speak to myself like that. I talk to myself like that. And I laugh at myself. I laugh at the situation. And I laughed at the fear. And you know where fear? It's not at the door anymore. The deeper the fear, more I am interested to see you, because if there's a little fear, it's a little thing I'm going to learn about myself. But the diamond, the precious diamond, is behind the fireplace, behind the fire, behind all these fear. And it does not exist, this fear. It's all the imagination. It's all fucking bullshit. And the reason why I could tell you the difference between what's in the mind and what's in the heart, I'm not saying we're not using the mind anymore, but there's a very important distinction. If my heart is working for if my head is working for my heart, it's creating love. If my head is working for my ego, it's creating shit, disturbance, everything negative, fear, suffering, all my past. So I've been there, I've been doing it. And to be a producer of drama, I don't know many people that have my experience, but I decided to use that experience as a producer, but to create love story. And I could do I do very good movies with that. And this is the only movies that I'm making. Only. This is my new life.